Hi guys, and welcome to day 20 of our 365 Days of Courage, where we try to encourage one another every day for a year with God's words in the Bible, looking for verses where it says there, "Do not be afraid, take courage, and fear not." So, our verse for today is taken from the book of the prophet Haggai, chapter 2, verse 5, where it says there, "When you came out of Egypt, I promised that I will always be with you. Do not be afraid." Okay? Now, this is an assurance from Prophet Haggai to the Israelites who just returned from exile. Diba? Na-exile yung mga tao. And they went back to Jerusalem. They lived there for some time, but then the temple stay in ruins. Ibig sabihin, sira-sira pa. Why? Because, of course, when they were captured, when Jerusalem was captured, nasira yung mga templo, nasira yung city itself, and so they had to rebuild the city. Itong book of Prophet Haggai contains the messages from the Lord on how to rebuild the temple. And God wanted that the temple that is to be rebuilt should be more splendid than the old one. So, nandito yung mga bilin niya about it. And this is where He assured the people na wag silang matakot because just as He was with them when they came out of Egypt, dun pa lang sa Exodus, He will also be with them as they rebuild the temple of God. Now, last year, ang pangit ng bungad ng taon sa atin, 2020. Why? Because pumutok yung Bulkang Taal. And we were all focused dun sa mga activities dun sa pagputok ng bulkan. And yung mga tao, they were evacuated. So just like the mga people in Jerusalem who were in exile, after na humupa itong bulkan, yung pagputok ng bulkan, the people in Taal Lake, the people in Batangas, paisa-isa na silang bumalik doon sa kanilang tirahan. And of course, nung pagbalik nila, everything was in ruins. Just like yung mga tao dito sa Bible verse na binasa natin. Pagbalik nila, everything is in ruins. And syempre, hindi nila alam kung paano sila magsisimula. And that is why, napapanahon itong mensahe ng Panginoon through the prophet Haggai when he said, "Just like when I was with you in Egypt, I will always be with you. You will be able to rebuild the temple and it will be more splendid than the old one." Ibig sabihin, it was just like he was saying to the people na nasira man lahat ng inyong mga ari-arian, you will be able to rebuild it. Tutulungan ko rin kayo because I, the Lord your God, who helped you before, will help you again ngayon sa panahon na ito. Yun nga lang, hindi na natin na-focus ang attention natin doon sa nangyari sa pagputok ng Bulkang Taal because pandemic hit us. Right? Now, in connection with our reading for today, by the way, today is Pentecost Sunday, and we all know Pentecost was the time when the Holy Spirit came down on the apostles, and that is yung pagbaba ng Espiritu Santo na yun ang nagbigay sa kanila ng lakas to go out and proclaim the gospel to all nations. Okay? So, ang reading natin, second reading natin for today is taken from 1 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 7, where it says there, "The Spirit's presence is shown in some way in each person for the good of all." So, we all know the story how the Holy Spirit through tongues of fire came down upon the apostles who are locked in the upper room. They were locked up there because they were waiting for the promise. They were waiting dun sa ipinangakong advocate, which is now the Holy Spirit. At ito na nga yun, ngayong araw na to, Pentecost. So, the Holy Spirit came down upon each of them And nagulat itong mga tao na nakakita sa kanila because each of them was speaking their native languages. So, yun. Just like the blessings of the Holy Spirit, the gifts of the Holy Spirit in each and every one of us, sabi niya dito, may kanya-kanya tayong regalo na ibibigay ng Holy Spirit. In our catechism, merong 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit. Makikita mo doon yung gift of wisdom, knowledge, understanding, piety, fortitude, fear of the Lord. Okay? Now, paano mo malalaman if the Holy Spirit is in you? Okay? Kasi yun ang hirap, hindi natin ma-discern kung nasa atin ba ang Holy Spirit or hindi. Of course, in our church, we receive these gifts of the Holy Spirit through our confirmation. Okay, so how will you know if the Holy Spirit is in you? Malalaman mo yan through the fruits of the Holy Spirit. Ano naman yung fruits of the Holy Spirit? There will be love, there will be peace, there will be charity, there will be patience, kindness, gentleness, faith, goodness, self-control, chastity, and the like. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng mga magaganda na pwede mong ipakita, those are all fruits of the Holy Spirit. So kung nagtataka ka kung nasa iyo nga ba ang Holy Spirit, if you are able to love despite being hurt, if you're able to forgive despite being wronged, if you're able to give despite na kailangan mo rin, pero namimigay ka pa rin, if you're able to have patience, if you're able to show gentleness despite na very rude yung kausap mo, if you're able to show kindness despite na yung mga taong pinapakitaan mo ng kindness are not kind to you, yan yung patunay na nasa iyo ang Holy Spirit, because those are the fruits of the Holy Spirit. And so, if we link this one to our Bible verse for today, day 20 of our 365 days of courage, sabi niya, sabi ng Panginoon, my spirit remains among with you. I am always with you. So do not fear, because God's Spirit is with us. Hindi tayo dapat matakot. So instead na matakot daw tayo, bakit hindi na lang tayo magpakita ng pagmamahal? Bakit hindi na lang tayo magpakita ng kapayapaan? Because those are the fruits, those are the pieces of evidence na magpapatunay na ang Holy Spirit ay nasa atin. And so God is saying us, I have been with you and I will always be with you. So if the opportunity comes for us to let the Holy Spirit works its way through us, then let us not be afraid and do what the Holy Spirit would do, to show love despite being hated, to show peace despite chaos, to be kind despite other people being unkind. Because ang lahat ng yan gagawin natin for the good of all, not only for us, for the good of all. Because what if isang taong pinakitaan mo ng kabutihan, despite na hindi siya karapat-dapat, that will change that person. What if yung taong binigyan mo, kahit yan na yung pinakahuli, he will not forget what you have done to him, and he will pass on that same charity that you have shown him. And therefore, everybody will benefit from this. And so, do not be afraid. If the opportunity shows, para ikaw ipakita mo ang pagiging mabuti, if the opportunity shows itself, para ipakita mo na nasa iyo ang Espiritu Santo, do it. Do not be afraid. And of course, just like yung temple na i-rebuild ng mga tao sa Jerusalem, it will be more splendid than the old one, meaning mas mabibiyayaan pa tayo. Kaya huwag tayong matakot magbigay, huwag tayong matakot magmahal, huwag tayong matakot maging patient, huwag tayong matakot maging gentle, huwag tayong matakot maging good and maging kind, because lahat ng yan may bunga, and it will be more splendid than the old one. So yun ang ating word for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for always tuning in. And I'll see you tomorrow on day 21 of our 365 days of courage. Bye guys, and I hope you're blessed by our verse for today. Love you.